when a car accident becomes a criminal case, and is it common? That's very interesting. So um, I was just on a deposition where my client said, "Yeah, when I got out of the car, the guy smelled like booze," and I told the cops that, but then I went to got in the ambulance and went to the emergency room, so I really don't know what happened. We have other cases where someone is a DUI, or that alcohol is involved in the case. We have had cases. We have a case right now. I was talking to another lawyer, and right now where there was a road rage incident against my client, and someone pulled in front of him and stopped suddenly. You can have other types of criminal actions. Like I have a case right now where my client was a construction worker blocking off a road. The defendant wanted to get to his place where he lived, went the wrong way up the road, and didn't listen to the construction people flagging them down, saying "don't go, don't go," and pushed into him and hyperextended his knee. There is so there is also, if someone is going too fast, exceeding the speed limit or by too much, that can be a violation. On your form police report, you're going to have violation codes where people can put that. Sometimes it rises to the level of being that. So the question is, how do you deal with it and what you do? So there's a wide variety of car accident issues that can surround criminal issues, both really bad, more severe stuff, felonies like DUIs, less stuff like failure to yield the right of way. Not that the injury or the impact isn't less, but the level of harm, the level of legal violation is different in kind. So when that happens, we also have tragic cases where I have a death case right now where the family is asking me, "Hey, what's going on with this prosecution?" And what we do is what we don't want to do is what I don't want to do, in this more serious cases, is I don't want the civil case to get in the way of the criminal case. So we usually let the civil case take a back seat to the criminal case going forward and being successful. So it was a DUI. It's a really excessive speeding case. It's whatever it is. So we do that. We let that criminal case go forward first. We collect all the medical, let our people treat, and then pursue the civil case thereafter. Hopefully, there's a quick resolution to that. But the evidence of the criminal violation is evidence of negligence in the civil case. So I can put on evidence of a DUI, of a failure to yield, of an excessive speed, wrong side of the road, doing those types of things. I can put that into my case. And there's also something called a per se negligence claim where I don't have to prove negligence. There's a presumption in the law that if you violate a rules of the road or violate a law that's designed to protect the very people who are injured as a result of the violation, you don't have to prove negligence. So you prove it's a separate jury instruction where I prove to someone, I say, "Hey, you sped, you were drunk, you did this," and then if that's true and you think that caused my client damages, then you have to award my client the full value of those damages. So that's where the interplay between criminal and civil come in. We have many cases. You would think that because someone was in a DUI, was drunk, or was guilty of that they would be embarrassed and would settle that case. Not the case. You wouldn't believe the number of cases I have to file where it's a DUI case. It's very interesting. And then the issue is if someone has a SIS or SES, or it's not, can I get that in evidence? Now, I think I can, and I always do, but it's something that is challenged later. There was one other thing I wanted to say about a criminal case. And I don't. So it's not common, but does happen. That's how we typically deal with it. We want the criminal case to be successful. Oh, so I had a case one time for my friend Chris Smith. It's in a bunch of articles where after the wreck, the defendant tried to leave and my client, it happens to be a security guard and a tough guy. He reached into the defendant's car and took out his keys out of his car and showed him his firearm because my client happened to be a security guard that had a license to carry a firearm and said, "You best stay here." And then when the officers came, he said, "I have a firearm," et cetera, and everything was okay. But that was crazy. There are times when crazy stuff happens after a crash. We have a case pending right now in St. Charles where there was a physical attack between the people in the wreck from the defendant to the plaintiff after the crash.